to share this with your faculty, you can go back and play this. What it does is automatically uploads to YouTube for you, so you don't have to do any converting, downloading, uploading. It automatically loads this recording once I hang up the phone straight up to YouTube, and it's there. So it's really nice to have as a little teaching tool. If people are viewing, I could see down here how many viewers. And if I want to send out a link so people can view, I just grab a link down here. So you might want to mute your computers, and probably, since we're watching it here, I would turn it off on yours because that's going to suck the bandwidth. So close out of the YouTube video that you have up because that's going to put it like a 3 or 4 second delay. We're going to watch it here. Okay. All right. Because we're live. So Andy, I'm going to let you start because they've heard of Donors Choose before. Some of them have, but they don't really know about PledgeCents and what PledgeCents can do. So I'm going to let you give a little introduction to the group about PledgeCents and what PledgeCents is, and give your little spiel, and then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you everybody for having me. I don't have my s'mores or chocolate on my end, but I hope you guys are enjoying that. My name is AndyShae, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of PledgeCents. So by show of hands, just so I have a good idea, in the room, how many of you guys have heard of Donors Choose? How many have used Donors Choose? Okay, how many of you heard of GoFundMe? Okay, a lot more. So basically, PledgeCents is kind of like the hybrid between Donors Choose and GoFundMe. So essentially, let's say you have a, you want to raise money for Chromebooks, which seems to be the popular thing with our teachers. What you can do with our platform is you sign up, you submit a cause, goes to our team, we review it, and then it goes live on the site. So essentially, once the cause is live, you're able to start raising funds for anything. So it can be for supplies, it can be for bringing in authors to your classroom. It can take the kids on a field trip, Girl Scout uniforms, anything that helps the pre-K through 12 experience, you're able to raise funds for. We started, just a little backdrop for you guys, we started in January of 2014. Currently over 850 schools in 47 states now have signed up with PledgeCents, and more than $400,000 have been raised. So we're still new, but basically the benefits that allows you, the teacher, is you have the flexibility to raise money for anything you need in your classroom, and even if you don't meet your goal, you still keep it. What we do is once you actually start receiving your funds and your cause is complete, we then actually send a check. It's sent directly to your school. It's written to your school, memo to you. The reason we do that is because, like on sites like GoFundMe, if the money gets put into your personal account, it's taxable income for you. So this way the money goes directly to the organization. The school can go through a proper accounting process. It's tax deductible for all the donors or contributors who contribute. You can receive the funds you've earned, and that's that. So before I guess I dive into more of it, are there any upfront questions for me that I can answer now?
Anyone have a question right off the bat? Whereas maybe you might have run into an issue with one of the others that you want to know how it works, or do we want to go ahead and get started in setting up a campaign? I think they want to go ahead and get in and start setting up a campaign and working through that.
Perfect. Yeah, so if everyone's on the site, on your top right, you should see the sign up button. So click that sign up button, and then you should see the email and the password feature to pop up. Type in, it could be your school email address, it could be your personal, whichever one you basically check. Put that in there, create a password, and before you hit submit, underneath there, you're gonna see apply promo code. So click that apply promo code button, and that's where you're gonna type in the code that we created for you guys. It's called, it's GARESA. So essentially the reason for that is because everyone who's attending here, by typing that in, we're gonna match the first $75 you raise for your cause. So for your first cause, you basically can kind of earn $150 pretty quickly off the bat. So once you type in your promo code, hit submit.
What is it? All right, they want to know the promo code again.
It's GARESA. So it should be the name of the conference.
Yes. We there?
Good to go?
Good to go.
Okay, so from here, essentially, you're going to see that first kind of pop-up button that says creating a cause. Simply just click that button, the circle, and you'll go to the next one where it's going to be a first name, last name, and a bio. This section here, just put in your first name, last name. You can edit your bio at any time. It can be done in your profile. You can add a picture for your personal bio at any time. It can be done in your profile as well. So it's not too cumbersome. So just for now, put in like a filler for the bio. And the bio, essentially, it should be who you are, how long you've been teaching, why are you a teacher, how long you've been at your school. It's a way that donors, or we call them investors, learn more about the actual person creating this cause. And they can connect with you more than just seeing just a static website page, essentially. So once you've done so, then you're just going to hit next. And you should come up to another pop-up box, and this is the last one, I promise. This one will be the school list on the left, and it'll be your position on the right. So if you see your school on your left, you can drop down from the select drop-down list, and you can start typing in your school name. If it pops up, select it. If not, you should see a function right underneath there that allows you to submit your school information. And then a pop-up will appear.
All right, is Andy going to pass for anyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'll slow down. I'm sorry.
What do we need to go back to?
So where are you guys now?
Y'all are so friendly. Our Wi-Fi is a little slow, Andy.
Okay. So just, I guess if it's easier, Nikki, for me, just by show of hands, let me know when you're on that school selection page, and I'll go from there.
So while we're getting all caught up, and help your neighbor out. Remember, we helped our neighbors earlier, so check on your neighbors all around you, not just the one sitting next to you. Your table mates. Is there a way to go back and add the promo code, Andy, if you accidentally hit the button before you put the promo code in?
We'll make sure we account for your account on there. Don't worry. We can see all the traffic on our side, so we can make sure that everyone who signed up for this conference, whether you put in the promo code or did not, will receive that $75 matching opportunity. Nikki.
Yeah, you don't see your school.
Hey, Andy, while they're filling this out, what would you say has been the best strategy that you've seen for teachers to be able to get their funding goals met?
Great question. Yeah, that's a great question. So it really, every time I talk with teachers, because your job obviously is not to do fundraising. We are aware of that and we know that. So we want to make it as easy as possible for you. So in your user dashboard, once we get to that, I'll walk you through that as well. You're going to see kind of like a resource guides, and that's resource tips on how to share on Facebook or Twitter or email to raise the funds and awareness. The biggest message essentially really is just persistence. You can't expect to put up a cause and then have money coming from the average Joe down the street who doesn't know you or your students without having some kind of way of hearing about it. So whether you share on Facebook, whether you use Twitter or you email or you have a blog, it's constantly about awareness of getting the cause out there. What we do and what we're going to do again for you guys and for future causes as well is we do different matching opportunities. So one of our popular matching opportunities our teachers like is a Facebook campaign one, where when your cause is up, we say essentially we're going to give you $1 for every one Facebook share your cause receives. And so this is a fun way that essentially you're not asking your same parents and the same family members and the same community to financially contribute. You're asking them just to share. And by them sharing it on Facebook as a medium, it's a bigger kind of social platform that becomes trending, and more people hear about it and more people start contributing. So there's different ways we work with you. Our focus is whatever situation you're in, we want to help customize a way that makes it easy for you, where you're not focusing all your efforts on this and more obviously on the lesson planning and classroom teaching.
And so, Andy, what I'm seeing right now is most of us are on the registration page where we're filling out our information and our school and everything like that. So in that same vein where you're talking about the funding, and that's great with the Facebook campaigns, but what I found to be really successful as well is to have, and we'll get to that page after the registration where you set up your campaign and explain it, but having a well-explained campaign about why you're raising this money, what exactly you're going to purchase with the money, and how it will benefit the students in your classroom. If you can make a good argument for that, you're more likely to get the funds that you want. But then also, I send it home to my parents, I go to my church, I go to my family, my friends, and I say, could you give $5? Could you give $10? And that's not so much when you think about it. For most people, they could give $5 or $10, and that adds up a little quick when you've got 20 kids in your class and every kid's giving $10 or $5, or every member of your church is giving $5. $5 doesn't hurt as much as asking for $100 or $50 or even $25. And so it's a matter of, as soon as you have that campaign up and going, getting that word out and letting them know about it, but then having that really good write-up as well.
Yeah, Nikki, that's actually a great point, because we see a lot of teachers sometimes will come on and they'll say, I want to raise $1,000 to take the kids on a field trip. And their description will be literally just, I want to raise $1,000 to take kids on a field trip, right? And that's it. But not providing a narrative as to, okay, how's that $1,000 going to be allocated? Is some of it going to go to your ticket admission, to your rental of the school bus, to food? So definitely getting the narrative across, because ultimately you want to think about the person who's not in your classroom every day, and you want them to understand why this cause is so important for you and your students, and giving that story across. And it's not creating a huge, novel. Something, a paragraph or two is more than sufficient, but just getting that story across.
So Andy, there's one spot on the registration asking for the tax ID or the EIN, and it's not letting them go forward without filling out that bill.
Yeah, so Nikki, is it easier for me to share my screen too?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Let me do that real fast to make it easier. So
he's going to show you something really cool here that you can also do with Google Hangouts. We're recording this, but he's now going to share his screen so that you can actually see what he's telling you to do. And this is something you'll be able to do as well, and we'll learn how to do this tomorrow. So that if you're wanting to do something like a classroom lesson or make a recording for kids, and we'll learn some different things that you can do with Google Hangouts.
So if you're on here and you start typing in a school, and let's just, and you see that your school is not on this list already, these are approved schools that can utilize PledgeCents now, then you'll go into I don't see my school or organization, click that, and here you're going to type in your information, your school name, what type of school you are, your principal name, email. So the reason we have a principal name and email is when we were starting, we talked with a lot of administrators who were very upset that they never really knew when their teachers were doing kind of online fundraising. And so with this, that principal will receive an email every time a cause is submitted, anytime a cause goes live and is complete. And it's just essentially a way to keep them in the loop of what's happening. So you're not raising funds for something that's not approved within the school or the district. So you type in this basic information here on the school address. As soon as you start typing in an address, you'll see that it's going to start populating down here. So once you choose one, put in there, and then you'll see the gray boxes populate as well. You don't have to worry about street address number 2 unless you have like a PO box number or something for your school that you can input here. So Nikki, to your question about the EIN tax ID, so if you have, or if you know your district or your school's federal EIN, this we have essentially is for tax deduction. If you don't, it's no problem. You can simply just tag 501c3 organization, and then here and surpass this, and our team will auto-populate this information for you. And the next thing you have to do before you submit your school is just put in a bio. And again, in this section for now, you can just type in, my school is Houston High School, and leave that as a placeholder. And again, once this gets submitted to our team will fill it out with the appropriate information from your district or school website. Any question on any of this?
Did that help with that tax ID number? Did you click that box?
I think so.
And then again, with that bio and everything, you can go back later and make a much better bio than what you're able to just type in really quickly right now.
Exactly. And from here, once you've done so, you don't have to worry about website, Facebook, or Twitter. Again, all this will be done by our team for you. You'll just hit submit school. And then, oh, I don't have my information up here filled out.
I have my elementary school is the same thing as another one that was listed, but it was for now.
Okay, we have an elementary school that was same exact name, but in a completely different state. So right now, we're just going to put a check mark in 501c3. And will that let us get past?
Yeah, great question. So if your school or organization up here, it has that name's already been taken by another school, essentially what that means is another school with your same name is signed up. Essentially just put, let's say if it's AndyShae Siberian, which obviously wouldn't be, let's just say Houston High School, and it says that it's taken up. What you can do, just again, to submit this, and our team will continue to fix it, you can just type in Houston HS or an abbreviation of it.
Right. Yeah, because it wasn't letting us go on because it recognized it as already existing in there, but it's in a different state.
Exactly. So if you just put an abbreviation, even really if you misspell the name, it'll allow you to go on. And again, don't worry about any of this because our team, once we do our verification and review it, we fix the school name, we put in the correct address if it's mistaken, we do all the tedious work on your behalf.
Yes, because I know how hard you guys are working and don't want you to have to work any harder or get frustrated. That's one thing I love about Andy and PledgeCents is because they're always there to help you, and if you have a question or get lost or you completely mess up what you were working on, they go in and they fix it for you. And they really take a lot of the heartache out of that work.
And to that too, and before I submit, so just on that point what Nikki was making, if you're ever on the site and you're confused or you have a question about something, if you hit this contact us, we'll always have a live chat there. And you can speak with one of our team members at any time of the day. If we're not there, you can leave a message and we respond within hours, if not minutes, of your response based on volume. But we're always there essentially if you have any questions or run into any problems at all as well. So is it okay if I continue from here, Nikki?
Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so once you do that, you hit submit school. You see your school show here, and then position, just put in what position you are. So for some reason I'm going to be a 4th grade teacher today. So just put in whether it's a teacher, if you're a librarian, a basketball coach, whatever that position is. And then hit next. And you are set to go. So this takes you to your cause page. And so this is the page actually that when you're ready to start your cause, what we've done is we've created kind of a hand-holding process. And so it takes you step by step into every section to fill out your cause. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to actually show you what happens if you hit get started. So y'all don't have to follow for now. We can just watch the screen, and then if you have any questions, we can talk about it as I'm going through this. Essentially, you hit get started, and then we create a title. Is there a creative title that you have in mind that we can put in for now?
Get that Hawaii vacation.
I couldn't hear that. What was that?
Chromebooks for classroom.
Chromebooks for classroom. Let's just add fun at the end. Okay. So that's our title. We hit next. So you can choose if you want your cause to last anywhere from 5 days to 90 days in length. The most successful causes are usually anywhere between 30 days and 45 days. The reason for that is because it gives you enough time to spread the word and raise the awareness. And it's also a sense of urgency for people to contribute now and not wait, 2-3 paychecks later to help you contribute. So for this one, we'll just put in 35 days. Here you have the option. Let's say if we have a YouTube link or a Vimeo link of the students, or maybe you create one on your phone and you upload it to YouTube about your cause, and you want to be able to put it here, you can essentially highlight a YouTube video link and then put that here. If you don't, in this box, you're going to see that this is where you can upload pictures. So we're going to upload a picture, and we're going to put in this picture here. We hit choose, and it'll upload for us. We can choose to put up to 3 pictures in this main section.
And Andy, that YouTube video you were talking about, that's really important. If you can get your kids to tell why we need this campaign supported, and it's their little bitty faces and their pretty little voices on there, pleading and saying, please, we'd really love to have this so we can do such and such and we can learn how to do this. That even helps more to get the parents involved, your community involved, and getting that money donated.
Yeah, great point, Nikki. And when we say video, a lot of teachers sometimes kind of get like, okay, I already have enough on my plate. I don't want to go create another video. This isn't a Hollywood production. It's nothing serious. Teachers who do it with their iPhone, and they just film themselves, their students talking. They may put music on in the background, and that's it, really. What it does is it gives the people who are maybe relatives of your students' parents who never met you or the other students in the classroom, it gives them kind of an emotional connection where they can actually hear the voices of the student or hear the voice of the teacher who they're helping spread the word for or financially contribute to. And those videos should be anywhere from about a minute to 3 minutes tops, because usually in today's world where our attention spans are so minute, people don't really watch videos any longer than that anyways. So once you do put in your pictures, then you'll hit next, and we get to choose how much we're looking to raise funds for. So for this Chromebooks one, what's the goal that we have for this?
Chromebooks are about, if you get the cheapest, is what, $200 for a Chromebook? A lot of my teachers started out with just asking for enough Chromebooks for a center, like 4 or 5 Chromebooks, and worked from there with each campaign. They would have time between each campaign and get 4 or 5 Chromebooks at a time until they had enough for a class set. I wouldn't try to, that's a lot of money when you're talking about a class set of Chromebooks, and you're more likely to get the money you need if it's like a center. So like 4 or 5, so 200 times 4.
800, right? The one thing on here too, and Nikki brings up a great point, as this is a lot of y'all's first maybe attempt at crowdfunding or online, or maybe obviously first attempt with PledgeCents, I always like to recommend to all of our teachers, your first cause, you don't need to hit a home run. If you want to hit a home run and you're that kind of teacher, by all means, have fun. We're here to help you. But you can also create something that's more realistic. And for the goal, this is one of the tips that we recommend every time is set your goal for what you need, not for what you want. And what I mean by that is kind of to Nikki's point exactly is if you really want 10 Chromebooks for your classroom, but again, this is your first time doing this, and you know that, hey, if I get 5 Chromebooks, that'll at least get me to really where I need to be, and 10 is just like an extra cherry on top. Set your goal for 5 Chromebooks, and you can always raise more. There's no glass ceiling with us that limits you for how much you can raise. So let's say our ultimate goal is 10 Chromebooks, but for this one, we're just gonna we need 5. So 5 or 4, like Nikki was saying, is $800. So you put your goal at 800. Now, the other part of this to remember, and we are building a feature that will do this automatically for you, but currently it does not, is that you want to take into account the fees. And so our fees, essentially, it's no cost to you or the school, but basically if you meet or exceed your goal, you receive all your funds minus 5% of the total raised. If you do not meet your goal, you still receive all your funds. It's just minus 8% of the total raised. And all these are in addition to a 3% credit card processing fee as well, which I'll talk to as well. But essentially, we incentivize we put the 3 points higher if you don't, to make sure you're setting realistic goals that can be achieved, and kind of encourage you more and encourage your community to make sure that goal is met. So to cover those fees, our original goal for the Chromebooks is $800. We can multiply that by 0.08, which is 8%, which will be the 5% plus the 3% for processing. And so that's an additional $64. So instead of 800, we put the goal at 864. And this will cover the PledgeCents fees and the payment processing, as well as the fees for the Chromebooks as well. Did I lose anybody on that part? I hope I didn't.
But you also know if you get lost, you can always contact Andy and he'll help you with that.
Definitely. So I'll go ahead. So we hit next. Here, you're going to be able to choose which type of category your cause is impacting. So whether it's for the drama club, whether you're doing it for your history class, a field trip, technology. For this one, we'll just do technology because it's Chromebooks. Hit next. How many students are going to be impacted by this? So if I'm a 4th grade teacher and I have, let's say, 4 classes coming in, and each class holds about 20 students, ultimately that's 80 students will be affected by my cause. I hit next. Which grades? For me, it's going to be 4th grade. So I just type in 4th. And then one of the features we have too, so let's say you keep going and you just want to check out how the cause looks. You hit preview cause, and you can see what your cause page will look like. And so you can check this out and see what it looks like. And let's say, okay, you're ready to go back. You hit continue editing, and it'll take you to your next section. So this is the main section. This is the where everything kind of counts. This is where you're going to write, what am I raising money for? And we have initial couple of questions here that said, how will this money directly impact you, your students, your classroom? Why do your students in particular deserve these types of resources and this experience? And then also talk more about the actual needs. So, you know, in here, what we're going to do, and I won't go through and actually write it, but we'll say, you know, we need to talk about, so the importance of the cause, the impact for our students, the impact for me as a teacher, the actual product or material. And for the actual product or material, what we're going to do is say, how many Chromebooks? What is the cost per Chromebook? If there's links, if I find the Chromebooks on Amazon that I want to purchase, include the link for Amazon where the donors or the investors have the opportunity to go through and read more about the Chromebooks and look about it. And I'll show you just to show you a completed one so you're not kind of thrown off guard. So we can look at this one, for instance. This teacher is essentially raising money for iPads. So putting in here a little narrative. 3 years ago, our school district purchased 5 iPads and protective keyboard cases for each classroom. Several of the cases are torn and missing several keys located on the keyboard. So this is going to allow her, see she has links in here. She plans on purchasing $40 grip cases. So it's a good narrative. And you don't have to put in this much description, but obviously the more you have does not hurt.
And when I wrote my first description, they would email me back and say, we need to know a little bit more about this, or could you tell us a little bit more about that? So they did help with that writing process along the way to help it get better so that it would be a more successful campaign.
Yeah, we review every single cause, and if we don't think it's fit for success, we'll send it back and we'll ask you, we'll give you recommendations, specific recommendations on what to include or edit in order to make it, again, quote unquote, fit for success.
Because I want you to be successful.
That is right. Are there any questions on this section? Am I losing people?
So those cool robots you saw today, some of the pay sites we saw today, some stuff we're going to see tomorrow, those are all things to keep in mind.
Yeah, and you can, on this, like let's say you had, again, you have more than 1 or 3 images you wanted to put here. You have the capability here to upload images, links, bullets, all that kind of customization that you would want. So let's say we do that and we're done. This next section is our plan B section. Essentially, it's if I have a goal of $800, excuse me, and I don't meet it, well, my donors, my investors, they have the right to know how I'm going to use the money. So here we have a section that says if I don't meet my goal, I'm going to purchase Google Chromebooks for my classroom. I will take whatever is raised, purchase as many Chromebooks as possible. And let's say even if I don't have enough money for Chromebooks, I will utilize any funds raised for a end of the year classroom party, which is always a good one, right? So this is just it gives more transparency to the people who are contributing, saying, hey, if I'm going to give you $100, I know that my money is going to go to something that I really want to impact one way or the other. Then you hit, and your cause is ready. So this is your completed cause. That bio section that you filled out about yourself will be shown on this page here, and your school will be shown here as well on the About tab. The Updates tab, whenever your cause is complete or even while you're going through it, at any time you can come here and you can post updates. You know, we are 2 weeks in and we've already raised $10,000. Continue to help spread the word. Or, you know, it's 2 months afterwards, the Chromebooks are in the classroom, the kids are loving them. We can take pictures of the Chromebooks, we can upload them here. Every time we hit submit update, every one of my investors who invested in my cause receives an automatic email with that update. So you don't have to go and hunt down 50 different parents or people. You can just post it once and they all get it at the same time.
And so they're getting those pictures of the kids actually using the items that they donated towards, which then makes them even more likely to donate again in the future the next time you have a cause or another teacher in your school uses PledgeCents.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing is you're building relationships and you want to build trust. A lot of the parents that we spoke with and still speak with, their biggest frustration with schools and with fundraising is they're more than happy to financially contribute, but they just want to know exactly, is the $100 I gave you, is that actually going to go impact my kid, or is it going to go impact, you know, the 5th grade classroom instead? And this gives them that way of understanding, okay, this is exactly how the money was used. And so once you've done all that and it says step 9 of 9 completed, you just hit submit cause and it goes to our team and we review it, and that's it. What I'm going to show you is your dashboard. So here at
Andy,
yes,
we've got a question.
Okay.
When you hit your target fund, like you had $864, once you hit that 864, can people still contribute money after that?
Of
Or
course.
does it automatically freeze?
No, you can continue to raise.
Or can you like use it for other stuff?
All right, so if you go over, can you use the overage for something else? Or do you have to use it just for that cause? What happens if you go over the amount?
Oh, great question. So I'm going to show you one example. This is a good example of a district. So it's a small district in Michigan. They had an $11,000 goal. They raised close to $19,000. One of the things they did really well with is they posted updates consistently.
And that matters. That really does matter. Those updates consistently, getting the videos of the kids, the pictures of the kids, and constantly getting that word out makes a huge difference.
Like this update, for instance, says, as of today, you all have invested enough to purchase 80 Chromebooks. We have about $1,700 to go to secure all 90. Please help spread the word and so forth. So their first goal was, when we originally set our goal for 60 and 60 challenge, we wanted to make sure we could reach our goal of 60 Chromebooks in 60 days. Since we reached our initial 60 goal in 1 day, we updated to end in January, exactly 60 days from where we started. This time we're going to ask for 90 Chromebooks in 60 days. So to your question, if you finish and you've already hit your goal and you have another 25 days, that's completely fine. Just post an update here and say, hey, thank you so much for contributing. Any additional money we raise is going to go to X, Y, and Z.
So it doesn't necessarily have to go to Chromebooks. If you wanted to then use that money to purchase something else that would, maybe be used on the Chromebooks, like maybe a website that you have to pay for, like Minecraft we were talking about. If you want to do Minecraft EDU, or you wanted to purchase a robot that you could use with coding, then you could just put that in the update. Is that what you're saying? To make sure I understand?
Exactly right. Yeah. Because the biggest thing with parents, again, they're fine contributing. They just want to see the transparency. So if you give them transparency and say, hey, any additional money is going to go towards X, Y, and Z, they're even going to be more prone to helping you spread the word or even contribute more. It's like, oh, wow, I'm glad I helped the Chromebooks, but if more money is going to go towards, I always do after the year party because that was my favorite thing as a student. After the year party, then yeah, I'll give another $25 to help that as well.
Another question. Let's say that you set your goal time to 30 days and you meet your goal in 5 days. Do you have to wait till the end of that 30 days before you get your money or your funds that you raised?
Great question. So no. Short service, no. If your goal ends earlier and you don't want to raise any additional money for that specific need or for any additional needs that might be related to that, you simply would email us. Email us with your cause name, the requested edit. So if you want to change it to ending tonight instead of 29 days from now, you let us know you want to end it tonight and the reason behind it, which a lot of our teachers are saying that they want to, when they do it, they are looking to get the money faster, which is obviously very understandable. You email us and we make it for you. We don't allow you to do it simply because we don't want to ruin the consistency for the parent or the donor who comes on early and they come on day one and like, okay, this cause ends in January 11th. I come back a week from now and all of a sudden it's going to end on December 15th. What just happened? Where's this communication? Where's this trust? So if you request it from us, we do it on your behalf, and that takes easily done within a day.
Any other questions?
Yes. Can you use this for whole school fundraising? So in lieu of maybe a readathon or something along those lines, putting this out to parents, and then we kind of avoid really bad Christmas wrapping paper.
You don't love the Christmas wrapping paper?
Or the cookie dough.
Oh, the cookie dough.
But when we were students, we loved knocking on strangers' doors asking for money for chocolate bars. It was the best. No, to your point, yeah, you can do a school-wide one. So an example of a really good, and I was going to kind of touch on this, is every school. So your school that you just submitted, you will have your own school website page. On this school page, it's going to show you every single cause for your school. So 10 of your teachers are all creating causes. You will all have your individual causes, and then you're able to share this link here with all of your family members, friends, and so forth. And they now have the choice of saying, okay, I want to contribute to the third grade teacher or the basketball coach or the readathon or whatever. And then they can also learn more about each specific teacher as well. So you can do that definitely doing school-wide initiatives as well.
Thank you.
And I usually go in there too and I donate first so that there's some money in there. Because when people see nobody's donated, then they're like, I wonder why nobody's donated. So I go ahead and throw in like 25 bucks or something like that towards my own cause. And then they see, oh, somebody's donated and they're only asking $5 for me, so I'm going to put my money in. And the donation process is very easy as well for that end user. Correct, Andy?
Yes, yeah, I can definitely, let's see if we can get on a live cause. I can show you how that process is. So if I'm on the page and I want to contribute $5, I can just put in 5 here. I hit invest. It'll bring up again that, if it's tax deductible, the money's accountable, it's secure. Here, so every investor or donor, again, has the opportunity to cover those 3% credit card fees. So if they want to, they can add 3% and it'll automatically add that to their contribution amount. If they don't want to be publicly recognized, they can also hit make investment anonymous and the name won't show up on the actual cause page. You put in your zip code, you hit continue, and then this button will show up, and then you can pay directly with your credit card or with your bank if you want to as well. And the bank will show, you can choose which bank provider you have. But yeah, it's very simple. So once you put in your credit card, you hit next and you've contributed, you get an email with the confirmation. That teacher gets an email as well. And that's another important part of ours. So for the teachers in the room who have used Donors Choose in the past or know of it, one of the things that they do is they require that you have handwritten letters that are sent to them that they can distribute to all the donors. What happens with us is that as soon as I contribute or someone contributes to your specific cause, you're going to receive an email, and that email is going to say, hey, AndyShae just contributed $5. Here's his email address. Send him a quick thank you. And you'll simply click the button, and then you can send him a personalized thank you email saying, thank you so much. Our investors are absolutely floored by that. They know how much teachers work already, and they love when they get random emails from teachers that they don't know, or they even do know, that just says, thank you so much. You helped, tremendously in helping us almost achieve our goal. So something that's very small it goes a long way for them.
And Andy, what if they put in there that they wanted to be an anonymous donor? How would you then send that email to them? Would you still be able to send an email to your anonymous donors?
Yes. So by clicking anonymous, you will be anonymous on like this. You'll be anonymous on the cause page, but your name will not be anonymous to the individual you're contributing to. And the reason we do that is because part of our mission is to bridge that kind of level of relationship. And so the only person who sees that will be you and that investor.
So like if you donated to your own cause and you didn't want people to see, oh, she just donated to her own cause, you could donate anonymously for your own cause. Then they don't know who donated. And they don't see that it was your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, and your aunt and uncle who all donated $5 to it.
That's true. Yep. You can definitely do that.
Deductible for the donor.
This is all tax deductible for the donor, correct?
Yes. So great question. So all the school accounts that you just submitted, if all of it gets verified and approved as a 501c3, then on your cause page, you'll see it saying verified nonprofit. If it says verified nonprofit, then yes, every contribution is tax deductible. But if this does not say verified nonprofit for your school that you're under, that means it's just going to be contributed. It's just going to be essentially a gift. By the fact that it's going to be tax deductible means that donor will receive an email with the organization's tax ID. So it's kind of like their tax receipt is sent automatically to them.
And y'all, it's pretty crazy who you might get donations from, because when I first used PledgeCents, I wanted to get to ISTE because I was presenting there, but I didn't have the money for the plane ticket, for the hotel, and to pay that enormous registration fee. It's like $500 something just for registration. I'm an educator. Who has that kind of money? And I had a person, I can't even say an old friend from high school, but a person I knew in high school. And y'all, I'm a grandma. I can retire next year. So this is a long time ago in high school that I had ever really kept in touch with. She was on my Facebook, but it's one of those people that are just on your Facebook. I put it out there. She donated $200. And I haven't seen her since like 10th grade in high school. But I was like, thank you so much. This was wonderful. And she's like, I just like the positive things that you're doing for kids. And so I wanted to donate to your cause. And y'all, right now I've got goosebumps all over and I could start crying because, oh my gosh, you don't know how you're affecting people and you don't know the influence you have. And what you do for kids every single day is amazing and should be recognized more than it is. And so you'll be surprised where the funding will come from.
Do we type in our school's tax ID or do they fund?
The tax ID.
The tax ID.
That from their bookkeeper.
So what we do is we find it, and we have our back end kind of technology allows us to find the school / district's federal EIN that we can associate with it. If for some reason we're unable to find that and you notice that there is no verified nonprofit by your school name, then you are able to email us and say, hey, here's a scanned copy of our federal EIN number. And again, we'll attach it to your account.
But otherwise, they'll find it and put it in there for you. So just check on it and see if they found it or not.
Yeah.
There's my-
And this is Nikki's page, by the way. I forgot to mention you guys. So this is
My
her.
very first attempt. It's not very good, but there's my little nutty children and a little video.
Yeah, good video, good pictures.
It was.
Nikki even posted an update here. Again, your update doesn't have to be, a huge novel. It just needs to be something that they're able to see, and all of her investors financially will see those updates as well. So can I go to the dashboard, or are there any questions I can answer before then?
Y'all ready? Dashboard? Okay, we're ready.
Okay, so on your dashboard, everyone will have all these tabs on your left. At the bottom, you'll have a cumulative that will always show up in terms of total number raised through all of your causes and number of investors through all of your causes as well. So we'll start from, I guess we'll start from profile first. All that information you inputted for your bio, it's going to be here. So I can come here and I can change my password. I can change my position. I can add a photo or my bio or my position as a teacher. If I see here that, hey, this is my school information and something's incorrect, you just let us know. We make the change for you. If you happen to move to a new school, you can click here that says this is no longer my school organization. It'll bring you back up to that original form, and you'll go back to that process to submit your new school, and it'll populate here again for you. So your cause investments, as you start seeing contributions come in, you'll see this page will show up with dollars. It'll show the name of the person who contributed, their email address, how much they've contributed, and a date they've given on. And it'll show you breaking down per cause. So at any given time, you're able to actually export this to an Excel or to PDF if you'd like to, for maybe your school wants to grow its donor base, you have the capability of doing so. Editing causes, this is where you can go, and before you submit it, you can hit continue editing, and it'll take you back to your cause that you were just working on, so you can edit at any time as well. Completed causes, once you've actually raised funds, you're going to have a table in here, and the table in here will show you the breakdown of the funds you've earned based on if you've met your goal or if you've not met your goal, the number of causes you've done, the total you've raised, etc. So this will be kind of a breakdown of how much you've earned to date on PledgeCents. So this tab and the referrals are my two favorite ones, so I'm going to kind of chime in on these a lot. Basically what we did is we went through all of our teachers. We spoke with thousands of teachers who used other sites, and we came up with kind of tips and tricks that can help you create your cause. So if you're building a cause and you're like, okay, I don't even know where to start to even write a description. Well, if you click this download button, it'll take you to a one-pager we've created that will show you kind of links, again, description, links, plan B, an explanation of what to do. And you can print these off for yourself. You can share these, but you'll have that document for setting your goal. You'll have it for including great images. We've even gone as far as saying, okay, well, if I'm going to use Facebook or Twitter or email, or if I want to reach out to the media or even involve my students, how can I do this? And these are, again, one pages we've collected that you can look at and say, okay, well, this is what I can do on Facebook that I may not have thought about doing before that other teachers have found successful. And then this one is the last category, I think, on this tab. Basically, if I want to create a field trip cause and I want to raise money to take the kids on a field trip, I'll click this and it'll tell me, okay, on PledgeCents, causes that raise and are successfully met raise anywhere from $650 to $850 per field trip. One Facebook share for a field trip cause usually brings in $20 on average contributed to a cause. On average, a cause for a field trip that meets its goal has a goal of 59 days, but usually they reach their goal within 9 days. And it'll tell you how many Facebook shares, most popular needs for school field trips, so school bus rental, admission tickets, travel costs, and so forth. So we've broken it down like that for every type of category. So you can look at per your specific category what the average goal is, what the average Facebook shares are, the average time, and all that. And then this is also, if your principal has questions, what is PledgeCents? I don't know who they are. You can be able to print this off or even email them to them, and it kind of gives a rundown of information about ours.
Did y'all see that? Bake Sale 2.0? That's funny.
Oh yeah, that's Bake Sale 2.0 is what we've been referred to. Yeah. Any questions on this tab? I know kind of this tab is more of the meat of the dashboard. Any questions on it?
But it's so helpful, you know. It really leads you right through what you would need to know if you have a question. Now, get to the part I like, the referral code.
So this is the part I like too, to be honest. We just launched this recently. We've been doing testing for it for the last year. But basically, it's something that no other site does at all. It's a referral that every teacher, every one of you who's just signed up will have your own referral code. And for every teacher that you spread this referral code to that signs up under a school account, you're going to receive $5, and they're going to receive $10 for their first cause. So for all of like the teachers in the room right now, let's say you either go on and you create your cause and you start referring teachers while your cause is live, you can start earning funds and then apply those funds directly to your cause. Or before you even have your cause live, you can start referring your friends, your teachers, and start basically creating a piggy bank for yourself before you even get your first cause up.
So if you don't have a cause made already, but somebody uses your referral code, it goes into kind of like Andy said, a piggy bank, and it's there for you to then apply towards a cause when you get one up. Is that correct, Andy? Am I saying that right?
That is 100% correct. And so as people are signing up, you're going to get an email to notify you when they've signed up. This will start filling out and showing you 1 all the way through 10. For every 10 signups you earn, you're going to get an additional $10. For every 10 causes that go live, you're going to get an additional $50. So basically, if you tell 10 of your friends or your teachers who are in your school to sign up, they all sign up, you get an additional $10 plus $50 because 5 times 10. And if they all create a cause, you'll get an additional $50 as well. Now, the beauty of it is, okay, well, you can get your code and you can copy it and put it on Facebook or Twitter and do it that way. Or you can say refer now, and this will show up. And you essentially put in Nikki and Nikki at Gmail. This isn't Nikki's email, by the way, so I'm not getting in trouble. But Nikki at Gmail, and you can start putting in all of the teachers' names or email address. You hit submit, and then an email will be sent out, an invitation email will be sent out directly to them on your behalf. So you can invite 10 teachers at any given time, right? Just simply by clicking refer now, hitting that. Once you've done so, we've given you the opportunity, and you'll start seeing their names will show up at the bottom of who's signed up from your referrals and all that. Once you've earned credit, and let's say this starts showing $535 of credit that you have, we want to give you the flexibility to choose how you use that credit. So by doing so, you'll be able to say apply credits, and you can actually, oh, we have to earn before, sorry. You can choose between applying credits directly to your cause or applying credits to a gift card of your choice. And so we give you a number of vendors, so like Amazon, Lakeshore Learning, Office Depot, and a couple of other ones as well, that you can say, okay, I want $535 directly in form of gift card to Amazon, because there's great things that I want to purchase from there for my students, or teacher pay teachers we also allow as well. So we give you the flexibility of how you want to use the funds you've earned to impact your classroom. Any questions on this one?
I like that you have both those choices, that gift card or going towards your actual cause.
Mhm.
That's also nice.
Yeah, it's more of the, you choose, you know best what you need for your classroom, and we don't want to be a barrier in between you getting that need. So it's your choice on what works best. But this is the thing I love. This is the thing teachers obviously love, because it's an easy way to just earn money without actually ever soliciting or spreading the word about and doing so. We have a lot of teachers who are already accumulating their piggy bank before their next cause is up. Any questions on any of this kind of stuff?
We good? A lot to absorb.
Excited.
Yeah, excited. Good. That's a good word.
That's a great word. Yeah.
Question.
So,
Oh,
if you,
question.
sorry, go ahead.
If you were to purchase something like technology, like the Chromebooks or whatever, then if you were to get transferred or whatever, that the technology would stay in that school, correct?
Okay, that's a good question. Did you hear, Andy?
I did, yes. Great question. So with our platform, we work with public, private, charter, PTA, PTO, so all types of umbrella organizations. So essentially that decision is up to your administrator. We don't have anything mandated saying that it's owned by the district or by the school. If your administrator, which we do have administrators at public schools and districts who say it's your property, you can take it. We also have those that say it's mandated by our district that it's our school's property. So that's a choice of administrator.
That's a good question, though.
Good question.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Any other questions? All right, you can always get in touch with Andy. I'll give you the email's on the website, correct, Andy?
The email's on there, and Nikki, if you want, you more than happy to provide them with my personal email.
Okay.
If you guys have any immediate questions, you can directly email me. I don't really sleep, so I'll always respond to them. But yeah, I just really hope you have fun with it. Again, it's not supposed to be too much work. It's supposed to be just engaging, a new way of kind of doing this. And if you have questions, let me know. And just FYI again, your first cause, this is the detail I did miss about the code. Your first cause that gets submitted, that goes live, will be matched the first $75. So you'll get $150 from that. That cause you have to sign up before, I think we have it set by the end of this week. You don't have to submit your cause before the end of this week. You just have to sign up on the site. And once you get your cause up, then we'll have it earmarked that you'll get your $75. Oh, sorry, Nikki, you're going to hate me. I'm sorry to do this.
What?
I'm going to just show you one more thing because I haven't overwhelmed you guys enough with enough information. This is a contest that we're doing right now, that if your cause does go live, basically the school that earns the most points will get $3,000, $1,500, or $500 in addition. And so essentially your cause will earn you points. And you can learn more about this. I don't want to kind of touch into it. But your cause, for every dollar you raise, for every Facebook share you get, for every teacher from your school, earns your school points. And then you'll start being on the leaderboard with all of our other schools and earning points for this. And this ends at the end of February. So just wanted to make sure y'all were aware of that in case you wanted to raise funds as well as get an additional $3,000 for your school. This is kind of just a fun way of doing so.
That's awesome.
So that was my last overwhelming speech, I guess.
Any final questions for Andy? We good? All right. Thank you very much for joining us today and telling us about PledgeCents. I think now our homework will be going home and figuring out how we're going to work on this. So I'm going to let you go because I know you've got lots of other things to do. But thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. And again, I'm here, so feel free to reach out. I hope you guys have a fun time using it and have fun with eating all the s'mores and the chocolate in there. So enjoy, guys. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.